Hello and welcome to Squid Nation. I'm your host Squid God. I am joined here once again by Tidge.
Hello.
And today we're going to be ranking my top 5 worst One Piece arcs. So this should be a juicy, controversial one.
Yeah.
Right, let me just say, by the way, first of all, I don't think any One Piece arc is actually bad. If anything, I think the word worst is kind of harsh for it. Right, do you think there's any really bad One Piece arc?
I think there's one that everyone calls out, and that's usually Fishman Island. But
right.
we'll get to the list soon.
Yep. You, like I say, I'm the newbie. He's the one who's been in the game for a few years. I've literally just recently caught up with the series. But I'm gonna be shut up. Right, but I'm gonna be counting down my top 5 worst. Right, I've got the list here. Right, so number 5, I put literally the one you've mentioned, Fishman Island.
Oh, that's hot.
Well, like I said, well, I don't. Right, let me just start off by saying I don't think the arc itself is actually that bad. If anything, I think most of it is pretty good in terms of world building.
Yeah.
And again, I think I actually really got invested in the Fishman Island story itself. You know, with like the conflicts and the war. And I think the highlight of the arc was definitely Jinbei and his flashback.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good, and I thought the build-up as well in Act 1 was not the journey getting there. I thought that was kind of slow. If anything, but I'll get to that problem. But the actual story itself and conflict, you know, with the mermaid princess and that lot was really good.
Yeah.
But where this arc I feel gets left down is, first of all, its main villains.
Yeah.
Cody Jones, I do actually think starts off as a pretty good antagonist, and I like his theme of, you know, his hatred was passed down, and so his strength was passed down through the drugs. Yeah. And there was that creep who wanted to marry the princess. But I think they both really lack compared to what we've seen before.
Yeah.
What was your opinion on Hody?
I didn't really like him as much, but I do agree with the he was good at the beginning until he started taking
The monster form.
yeah, the monster form. But like, I think they're mostly there to be used as you know, like a way of showing off the main character's skills.
Yeah, because it was straight after the time jump.
Yeah.
But I thought the journey there was alright. I don't think there was much standout other than, you know, defending the Kraken.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this might be controversial, but I think the final battle is really dull. Like, it's not bad, but I didn't feel like there was any real weight because none of the characters really struggled.
Yeah.
The only character who kind of struggled was Luffy, but even then, I think that was more because the Flying Dutchman was going to crash into the island rather than, you know, the actual fight with Hody. I mean, it was nice that we got to see Luffy underwater and struggling with that, but I don't think it was a big enough part to make me go, oh, I was invested in that too much.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I thought Zoro's fight was kind of boring. I thought, seeing Mecha Frankie for the first time was cool, but that was played more for a gag. And I think it was more like all this off-screen development, it was like finally paying off, but a few bits I wanted them to take a bit more seriously. Like, Mecha Frankie is cool and gets used a lot more effectively later, but at this point I think it was more just a joke. Same with like Monster Chopper as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fishman Island, I think storytelling-wise it was good, but I think a lackluster villain and a lackluster final fight really set it down for me. But I do think this arc does get slightly a bit much hate than it deserves more necessarily. Right, number 4, mainly because I forgot about it, was Amazon Lily.
Oh, Amazon Lily.
Yeah. Right, it's not a bad arc, it's a little mini arc of Luffy just getting to impel down, but that's where my problem lies in. Because I love Boa Hancock, I like her story, but that's all there really is to it. The fight is okay with the sisters.
Yeah.
I won't say it was really stand out, but it was alright. And again, I think this chapter's not exactly long either. Like, it gets to the point. It gets to the point pretty quickly, but it's just, it felt like a couple of chapters they could have skimmed over, like bits where, you know, he's playing with his Luffy's, you know,
mushroom.
Yeah. That was a bit really, and it was just like full of them jokes. And I could have really done without it. What was your opinion? This one I think might be a bit controversial.
I do see where you're coming from, but I wouldn't say it's what I do get a little bit more enjoyment out of that than Fishman Island, though.
I'd rather read Fishman Island personally,
Oh.
because at least like with Jinbei's flashback, it's like really interesting.
Yeah,
and it's
true.
cool seeing like Arlong and Kizaru in that past.
And plus, I do think it's a nice little like relax point, but just before Saturday as well.
I think it could have been shorter though, and I think to me it just felt like especially with the fight, it was just a bit. It could have been shorter.
Yeah.
Again, it's pointless. It's kind of like. It kind of like I want to say filler, but it's not really filler. By the way, we're not including filler arcs on this, by the way, because I haven't seen any. So, okay, number 3. This is another controversial one, which a lot of people are going to kill me for. Return to Saturday.
All right then.
I thought it was nice seeing the Straw Hats again, but I think it was kind of poorly paced. And I didn't read it weekly, but I imagine weekly it would have been a nightmare. Right, because I think that whole plot of like, the false Straw Hats was a bit crap. I didn't really find it funny. Chopper then confusing the whole matter was a bit meh. I think the only funny joke was when Frank was it Frankie? Yeah. So this is how good it was. This is how much I remember this. No, it was Zoro getting there first.
Right.
I thought that was quite funny, but other than that, I thought it was a bit jarring. And again, thankfully it's short, but I think the only highlight moment was Zoro getting there first and bragging about it, and the smackdown on the Kumas, on the Fistas. That was cool seeing, and it showed a bit of progression, but it was all build up really.
Yeah.
And like you can tell, like Amazon Lily as well, I'm not really a big fan of build up arcs, because like in the long run, like when you look back on them, they don't necessarily hold up well, because it's can we get to the main point?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what was your opinion on Return to Saturday?
I thought it was a nice little way of like showing like the new designs, and like showing everyone like how much they've progressed.
What's your opinion on the New World designs, by the way?
I like them. Some of them I prefer over the original ones, but some I do prefer over the new ones as well.
I think the only one I prefer, like heavily preferred over the new one was Robin. I preferred Robin's old design a lot more.
Yeah.
But again, that was a personal preference.
Yeah.
Even that, I still wouldn't say the new one's bad. I still think it gets the point across.
Yeah.
And you could say with the hair being from the back, she's more open now. If you want to get artsy with it. You're looking at me like I'm just disgusting.
Perhaps.
Right. Number 2. A lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, but I really did not really get on with this arc. Punk Hazard.
Yeah, a lot of people usually don't.
Punk Hazard, its first act is long, its second act is long, and its third act is okay. I think its third act is... Right, let's just talk about the positives. I like seeing Smoker again.
Yeah.
That was a cool little thing. I don't think he was used enough, but seeing him again was cool.
Yeah.
And, Caesar was a cool villain. And his little bird partner.
You can't diss Caesar.
But, yeah, that's really all I've got for positives. I don't really have much, because I think the problem with Punk Hazard is it's a setup arc, because it's mainly setting up for Dressrosa and Wano,
Yeah.
and that's specifically its whole purpose. And I think the location itself could have been interesting, but again they skipped over the interesting bit, which was obviously Aokiji versus Akainu.
Yeah.
It was cool seeing the aftermath, but that wears off quickly when you only spend most of the arc on one side of it. Law was alright in that arc. I think he really shines in Dressrosa, but it was cool seeing Law doing his own little adventure. And again, Virgo, what do you think of Virgo as a villain?
I liked him. Like, I thought it was like a new way. It was cool, like seeing the new way of Haki being used, like the full body one.
Yeah. But yeah, and again, the final fight was alright, and it was cool seeing some characters being introduced, but the location was dull overall. Most of the fights in the middle I completely forgot about, like those Yeti brothers, was it?
Yeah.
Completely forgot about them, and the slime was forgettable.
Yeah.
I don't even remember half the slime conflict. And the whole body swap thing annoyed me. And I think it's like the arc as well, where I think totally not Mark talks about this as well, but it's where the text gets really heavy and it starts taking up a lot of panel space.
Yeah, it does. Unfortunately.
But yeah, that's all I've got to say about Punk Hazard. I think it's too long. I think some of the fights at the end are good, and it's nice seeing returning characters. And it's good for setup, but again, the next arc I think outclasses it in every way, and builds on everything perfectly. Like, oh, and I don't know if we count it in the same arc, but that final bit with Doflamingo showing up and Aokiji.
Yeah, that does count.
Yeah, that was pretty good, but I don't think it was enough to save the arc, because again, it was just foreshadowing for later.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was your opinion on Punk?
At first I enjoyed it, but going back to it in the manga, I do think it was a bit slow at times.
Or as I've liked to nickname it, Corridor Central. It's Corridor Central or Ice Central.
Could be both.
And so I don't think it helps as well. Unlike, like, let's say Crocodile, who like made Alabasta work with his element, or even Enel, like, who made Skypiea work with his element. Like, Caesar doesn't really.
I mean, it only works until he actually sends out the slime thing out.
Yeah, but even that, it was, since it was all set up, I just wasn't engaged that much. And I just think it was slow. Number one, I think everyone guessed this, because I think this is the ultimate hurdle for getting over One Piece. And it's not because it's bad, I think it's because it's the most mediocre arc in the entire series. Syrup Village.
Yeah.
Syrup, I think it mainly comes down to, like, this is where Oda's style really takes full form. In the form of, and his uniqueness with Usopp. Don't get me wrong, I love Usopp, but for me it took till Little Garden to really get invested. Like, it was good in Arlong Park, but for me it takes till, like, you know, when he talks to Groggy and Groggy, you know, probably butchered the name. Yeah, but right, that's the first. But it takes till then for him to actually get into his into like some further character development of him wanting to become a strong warrior. But at that point, it's more just, my dad's a pirate, why not? But yeah, I felt it was a bit. I felt it was also, it's one of those, the villain's planning it is so unbelievably stupid.
Yeah.
The whole pretending to be a butler for 3 years, even though he used to be a pirate, and then kill the family or whatever. No, and then it was just really convoluted and stupid, and it very much feels like an early manga. Which is weird, because I think One Piece, for the most part, does a good job, especially early One Piece, at avoiding that type of thing.
Yeah.
And then you just got that coming in, and it's just, what? What was your opinion on Syrup Village, anyway?
I do agree with you when you say, like, it's mediocre, and, like, the plan is a bit...
Stupid.
Yeah, very stupid.
Why don't you just kill her immediately?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, I know he needed them to sign the, contracts or whatever, so he inherits it, but why don't you just kill her then and nick it?
Yeah, just rob it.
Am I thinking too hard about this?
Probably.
I mean, what do you think of the villain's design, anyway?
Thought it was kind of unique for then, anyway.
I think he had a chance to have a really good fighting style.
I do like its weapon though. I think that's pretty unique.
This might just be me, but I think he should have been the Zoro fight.
Yeah.
I mean, like, to me that was kind of a no-brainer, but Luffy got it. And that weird cat combo of his minion, that was a bit... See, again, this is just the only forgettable arc in One Piece, I find.
Yeah, mostly because it was early One Piece as well. And...
I know, but early One Piece, I think, is good.
Yeah.
It's not great till we get to Arlong, I'd say. I know a lot of people say Barati, but I think Arlong. But yeah, Syrup Village, I think, is the ultimate. Right, we need to get over this. But luckily, it's short once again.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my top 5 worst. Would you agree with that list?
Yeah.
What would you change on yours?
Possibly Amazon Lily.
Now, what would you replace that with? Right, say he's just having his thinking time. Nah, shall we end it there then?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll conclude this point in another video. Right. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Please don't kill me in the comment section for all of you watching, which is about 3 people. Right, see you later. Thank you.